What is Shantiniketan famous for? Is it just Rabindranath Tagore? Or is it the popular Shantiniketan art and craft? Or is it nature? We wanted to check out for ourselves. Hence, during our last visit to Kolkata, we made it a point to visit Shantiniketan in West Bengal. Also, this is a special vlog, like a tribute on Rabindranath Tagore's birthday on the 9th of May or Pochishe Boishakh.
When I told my friends and family that I'm going to Shantiniketan, the first question was, what is there in Shantiniketan? All I knew before coming here was that this is related to Tagore, and there is Tagore's University, Vishwa Bharati, and students study here amidst nature, under trees, out in the open. That much I knew. But now that we are in Shantiniketan and we are making this vlog, I hope this will answer a lot of questions. And according to Vedavrata, Shantiniketan is not a place where you have things to do. It is a place to be. So let's just be in Shantiniketan.
Contrary to popular misconception, Shantiniketan is not the birthplace of Gurudev Rabindranath. He came to Shantiniketan as a child with his father, Maharishi Devendranath Tagore. Many years later, Rabindranath established Vishwa Bharati University here. The university was set to create an open environment, stoking creativity and freedom of thought among the students. So much so, classes were and are still held in the open under the shades of huge trees all over the campus.
शांतिनिकेतन में दिस इज आवर डे 2 और अभी वी आर स्टार्टिंग विद द म्यूजियम. While I was buying these tickets, Vedabrata is haggling with the guide.
So he's going to guide us. This part is the museum, so it doesn't require a guide. These are Tagore's houses. Right? That part is the university. So there there are certain spots, so that he's going to help us with.
अच्छा.
We are at Uttarayan complex in Shantiniketan. This is basically 5 houses which were built by Tagore at various points in his life. The first house, which is behind us, that is Bichitra Bhavan. It's perhaps the largest house. That is now a museum. This has certain personal effects of Tagore, manuscripts and photographs.
टिकट 50 रुपीज़ है और फोटोग्राफी अंदर नहीं अलाउड है. और जस्ट लाइक मोस्ट बंगाली हाउस होल्ड्स आपको यहाँ भी बाहर शूज़ उतारने होते हैं.
Bichitra Bhavan shows Tagore's eclectic journey through life. It also has a replica of the Nobel Prize that Tagore received, and he was the first Asian to win this award.
उत्तरायण म्यूजियम में तो बहुत भीड़ था. इतनी ज़्यादा भीड़ एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करी थी. मे बी इट्स लाइक एन एक्सटेंडेड वीकेंड. अंदर टैगोर से जुड़ी बहुत सारी चीज़ें रखी हुई हैं. उनकी बुक्स, अवार्ड्स, थिंग्स ही यूज्ड टू यूज़, बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स जो उनको मिले थे. अच्छा म्यूज़ियम है, बट अगर अच्छे से देख पाते तो और अच्छा लगता. इतनी भीड़ हो गई कि हमें निकल के ही बाहर आना पड़ा.
This is Udayan Bhavan. One common factor in all houses, these mansions were visualized by Tagore and designed by him. He was widely travelled all across the world, so he was heavily influenced by Asian styles. So Balinese, Japanese, the sunshades, the brackets, it's all very, very Indonesia, it's all very Bali. So those influences Tagore imbibed in these houses, number one. And number two, the second factor is he liked breaking spaces. So if you look at this house behind us, you see that there are a whole lot of roofs. there are multiple roofs at various levels. So he liked that, breaking spaces. So that is another uniqueness we get to see in most of Tagore's abodes.
Next, we get to see the mud house Shamoli. Tagore built a number of houses in different designs, but at one point in time, he got bored of concrete structures and he wanted to stay close to the earth. So he had this mud house constructed. It's all made of mud, and earlier they had old photographs exhibited inside. Currently, it's out of bounds. When we were kids, we would enter the mud house and potter around, and it was so cool inside, even on the hottest summer day. In fact, Shantiniketan is part of the plateau, so it has very hot summers and very harsh winters. The natural elements of this mud house would ensure that the temperature is controlled.
So the relief work outside was done by students of Kala Bhavan, which is Shantiniketan's art department, under the guidance of the legendary artist Nandulal Bose. We are standing in front of Punoshcho. Punoshcho means postscript. So after building Shamoli, Tagore had thought that that was his last house. But then after building Shamoli, he still wanted to build one more house because he thought of some new concepts. And he always had this idea that the home should come and meet the earth. So all these steps here, sort of, they are very, very low, and they come and meet the earth. So he built this house, Punoshcho, and he lived extensively here in the last years of his life. So this house was built in 1936 and Tagore passed away in 1940. So that was the Punoshcho house period.
वैसे तो हमारे पास अपना इन हाउस गाइड है शांति निकेतन का बेदोब्रतो, लेकिन आज उसकी तबीयत ख़राब है, तो हमने एक्चुअली एक गाइड हायर किया। अभी हमने जो उत्तरायण पार्ट है वो देखा है। नेक्स्ट इज़ यूनिवर्सिटी एंड मैनी अदर सराउंडिंग एरियाज, द आश्रम कॉम्प्लेक्स, म्यूज़ियम है, आर्ट वर्क हैं और भी कई चीज़ें हैं। तो दिस इज़ गोइंग टू बी रफली एन आवर एंड हाफ ड्यूरेशन थिंग। Tagore's father bought this place in 1860s. Till then this place was all deserted. There were just 2 trees, and he found a lot of peace here. Then he decided to buy this place, and the first building that he made here, he named it Shantiniketan.
The Tagore family was Brahmo, so they didn't follow Hindu forms of rituals. So their process of worship was way more meditative. Tagore's father, he found this place very meditative, and then he would sit and meditate here. And the inscription here in Bangla, Tini amar praner anam moner anando atta shanti, crudely translated would mean he is the comfort of my life, the joy of my mind, and peace of my soul.
So this is not just a playground or a lawn of a building. These are actually classrooms. So Tagore, about the idea of enclosed classrooms, he never liked the traditional way of schooling, and he kept changing schools, but he never really studied in a school. So he always liked to study in open air spaces amidst nature and all. So that is how this university came into being, and teachers would sit below a tree and teach students. Study areas के नाम उन पेड़ों के नाम पर हैं जिनके नीचे बैठ के वो पढ़ाया जाता था। ये बोकुल भी थी।
हाँ, तो हमारे लेफ्ट में है बोकुल भी थी, बिकॉज देयर लॉट ऑफ बोकुल ट्रीज है। हमारे राइट में है, हमारे लेफ्ट में है छातीम तोला, बिकॉज देयर छातीम और शॉप्तोपर्णी ट्रीज और dominate this place.
The tradition of taking classes out in the open is still going on. It's not like it was only in the olden times, but we couldn't see that because classes happen till 1 o'clock and tourists are allowed inside after 1 o'clock.
This is Shantiniketan Bhavan, the first structure in this zone. Shantiniketan abode of peace. So this building was built by Tagore's father Maharshi Devendranath, and he called it Shantiniketan or abode of peace. Over time, the whole area started being known as Shantiniketan. The other thing about this whole complex is that Sanskrit slokas are written in every other building, every other complex, every other gate. Tagore's father and Tagore, they were both very deeply entrenched in the Indian philosophy of Upanishads and Vedas and whatever. We are standing in front of Brahma Mandir. This is basically the meditation hall of this area. So it's a very eclectic style, and it's made of Belgian glass. The design is Japanese. The tiles inside are from Germany.
This Ghontatola, or the huge brass bell, is under a big banyan tree and resembles a gateway to a Buddhist stupa. At one time, this was used to regulate the classes and other events held during the day.
So we are at Gold Prangan, one of the largest open areas of Vishwa, and on my right is the Shingho Bhavan. So this place was before Tagore's, it was owned by the Singha family, and then they had charged a symbolic 1 rupee to transfer it to Tagore's. So in deference to the Shingho family, this gorgeous structure is called Shingho Bhavan, and this is also the clock tower of Vishwabharati. Tagore got this clock as a present from the Oxford University along with his D.Litt degree. The reason why this place is very important for Shantiniketan is because earlier all festivals, all cultural festivals like Bashanta Utsav, which is Dol or Holi, and would be held here on this permanent dais that has been built here. Now, given the size of these festivals, last couple of years they're being held somewhere else. I'm told they're being held at the helipad, which is in the vicinity.
Beautiful paintings in Indian style by Shilpguru Nandalal Bose adorned the Vishwabharati office walls. These paintings are never old. They draw a lot of admiration from students as well as from visitors.
Jawaharlal Nehru had a lot of respect for Tagore, and he coaxed Tagore to accept Indira as a student here. Till that point, this was just a boys' school, but Indira Gandhi was the first girl student here. So we are standing in front of the girls' hostel of Vishwabharati University. The girls' hostel is called Sri Sadan, boys' hostel is called Nanda Sadan, and on the first floor of Sri Sadan behind us, our guide is saying that that's why Indira Gandhi used to put up in 1934. We are standing in front of Kalo Bari, or the Black House. So it's again a mud hut, multi-storied mud hut with again Tagore's philosophy of many roofs, and with black fresco work all across the pillars surrounding the house. And this is where Shilpguru Nandalal Bose and the famous sculptor from Shantiniketan, Ramkinkar Bej, they would live in this house. This is Kala Bhavan area. Kala Bhavan is the visual arts department of Vishwabharati.
Ramkinkar Bej was a pioneer of modern Indian sculpture. He was trained in Vishwabharati, and his artworks are placed at various strategic points in the university campus. Buddha Sujata and the huge Gandhi statue inside the campus are favorites with the tourists.
Mahatma Gandhi had a very strong rapport with Tagore and a positive connection with Shantiniketan. So behind us, not difficult to guess, this is Gandhiji's statue made by the famous sculptor from Shantiniketan, Ramkinkar Bej. We are going to see a couple of other statues made by him and that are installed in this campus. And he calls it Gandhiji, the apostole of peace.
Outside Kola Bhavan, visible from the main road, are two of his most famous works. One is Koler Bashi, that means the factory siren, and the other one is Shautal Porivar, or the Santhal family. The strong artistic language on these pieces gave us goosebumps. Vishwabharati means the unity of the world with India. Tagore had travelled across the globe and introduced various forms of music and art from foreign shores in Vishwabharati. Batik is one such art form that Tagore got from Indonesia to India. Such art styles were nurtured by the artists of Vishwabharati and developed a new narrative that was unique in style from its origin. Local skills were also developed in the process. Shantiniketan is now famous for such art and craft that is endemic to this region, and one can get a glimpse of that at the weekend flea market Choir Hut. Do check out our blog about Choir Hut at Shantiniketan. The link appears on the screen and in the description below.
We are at Karu Shongho. So Tagore got batik to India from Indonesia, from Java basically. After Tagore, the master of Indian arts, Nandalal Bose, he established this organization Karu Shongho to promote the cause of batik art, and he and then later his daughter Gauri Bhanjo, they developed batik design, batik skill here. So this place now is kind of like vintage. They hold a lot of history and heritage, and they have these set patterns which were designed by Nandalal Bose and then later Gauri Bhanjo, and they still function here. And probably the youngest batik artist here is about 80 years old, and they are so dedicated that they would never move away, try anything new from whatever was designed by Nandalal Bose or Gauri Bhanjo. The other reason why we keep coming here is the beautiful mud hut structure. This is called Talod Dhwaj. So there's a date palm tree at the center, and then this mud hut structure is around it. This houses this absolutely vanguard, unique, and one of its kind organization, Karu Shongho.
Summers are very hot in Shantiniketan, so winters are undoubtedly the best time to be here. The period between October to February is very pleasant here and draws huge tourist footfall. Shantiniketan is essentially Tagore's philosophy in visual form. So if you're inclined towards art or history or philosophy, this place would work for you. Also, it is one of the most beautiful landscapes of Bengal. Painted mud houses of local Santhal tribes happily coexist with concrete houses in this town. Needless to say, Shantiniketan is a photographer's delight. If you are here in the off-season, the peace here is almost tangible. Shantiniketan is absolutely worth visiting. Don't expect a lot of action here, just take it easy and be. With this vlog, we come to the end of our Shantiniketan series. Hope you liked this video. Do let us know by giving it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Delhi Fundus on Instagram and YouTube and press the bell icon to be notified of our new videos.